Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV news with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at the winners of the Hairstyle Design Contest for 2023. These contests are always filled with fantastic ideas and submissions from a community at large, and we finally get to look at the winners of this contest. I am very excited to see what hairstyles we've got. I personally asked all of the creators out there to come up with some nice long hairstyles, so we'll see if I've had any influence on this at all. Probably not, but I would love to see some longer hairstyles and some more interesting flamboyant referenced hairstyles from other games and other cultures and things. I can't wait to see what we've got. So this was in celebration of A Realm Reborn's 10th anniversary. It's been 10 years since A Realm Reborn's version of the game came out, and of course we let's see, it says the sheer number of splendid hairdos we would make Barbarici even greener with envy, and thus we're compelled to increase the number of winning entries from 30 to 40. So there's 40 hairstyles that will be making their way to Final Fantasy XIV in the future through various content. Let's have a look at these. And it says we can click on the thumbnail to view larger versions of the image, but we can of course just zoom into the page. So this is the first entry, which obviously I don't read Japanese, but it's a beautiful hairstyle. Already we're off to a great start. We've got this lovely braid that crosses with a ribbon on the back. There we go, nicely big zoomed in. And they've used obviously the template of our high here, which is the base template for pretty much all of the races apart from Viera and Hrothgar. I love the ribbon on the back here. This almost reminds me of like an Evolution sort of hairstyle. I do like the length of this. It's got a beautiful fringe at the front. I would genuinely consider using this on my character if this was out now. And obviously we've got a Mikote at the top there. I would love to see how the ears work with this. This could be the contender already for the new favorite hairstyle. I love the way that they've shown the highlights as well on this. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that. And of course over here we've got this on a male character, but of course we could have these ungender locked these days, hopefully, fingers crossed. This is quite a nice short hairstyle with a shaved sort of neck area at the back here. Very similar to some others that we've seen in the game, but apart from the fringe, I like this sort of messy, almost bed hair look. Very, very nice. Very happy to see both of those in the game at some point. If we scroll down now, we have two other entries. Oh, look at this. We've got a long hairstyle. Hallelujah. I am so happy right now. I am so happy that the community is on the same wavelength as my own desires. This is gorgeous. I love the length of this. It's not cut off at the back. Some people argue that the longer the hairstyle, the more clipping there is, and that's the reason that a lot of people, including Square Enix in the past, have been against this. But I say let it clip. Let us have what we want. This is a beautiful hairstyle. Nice fringe, actually. Very nice. Very nice. I like the length of these at the front here, almost like bangs. Very nice hairstyle. I love that. That would look really good on a Miko, I think. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Then we've got this. This is already screaming to me. This is Hime Toshenji. Sorry for butchering the name there. This reminds me of Tsukiyomi for some reason. I think it's that very Far Eastern themed hairstyle here, or at least that's what I'm getting from this beautiful hair that wraps into a bun behind there with a long, oh my goodness, if it's as long as this in the game, this could also be one of my new favorites. I love the way it wraps around. Also kind of reminds me of pastry for some reason. I'm not sure why, and maybe because I'm hungry before recording this video. I love the little ribbons on this. This is a great one. I can't wait to see what this looks like in the game. And yeah, what a great excuse for another long hairstyle. Scrolling down then, we've got I think this Karuo here. I think this is heavily influenced by probably a certain character from Shadowbringers that we might remember, mostly because of the two-tone demonstration they've got here. This looks very similar. I'm all for it. I love the wispy nature of this. It's kind of got that sort of, you know, messy but cool sort of look going to it. I really like that. That's nice. I can imagine a lot of people will be down for that one. Then we've got this from Apple Mojito, which says something magic, which looks awesome. I like this hairstyle. It's very similar again to a lot of the other short hairstyles we've got, in my opinion. But I also like the way that this is highlighted, the top being highlighted and then the under being a much darker color in this demonstration. I like the way that splits off, and I don't think we have that currently. Very excited to see what that looks like in the game, obviously. And they've done some great demonstrations of what this looks like with Viera included. Fantastic. And even Hrothgar. Very nice. It's always nice to see people designing things around Hrothgar for once. So going down, we've got Lyrico Lilium with this. So this is much like the other hairstyle further up, but this is akin to what I would expect Square Enix to normally put into the game because of the cutoff, so that it doesn't clip with hoods and collars, high-collared outfits. It's nice, though. It's nice. I like the V sort of cut into that. It's nice. Probably a little bit too high on the neck for my liking personally, but it does look good on that Miko demonstration there. Really cool. But me, obviously, I prefer long hairstyles, so maybe that's why they included a mix of them this time around. Then we've got this lovely top-heavy bun on top of the character's head here. This will be interesting to see how the ears work with this for both Hrothgar and Viera, right? Specifically Viera. I do like the way that this is sort of wisping down. Very nice top knot, I think they call that, don't you? Something like that. And I presume the color differentiation is how the highlights work on this. That looks really cool. Again, reminds me of pastry for some reason. Again, always make sure you eat before recording videos. Then we got this, which has this beautiful front quiff. It reminds me of Nero Tolskeva for some reason. I'm not particularly sure why. Very similar hairstyle. I like this, actually. Quite a nice short hairstyle. A lot of exposed hairline there, and that sort of side quiff fringe. It's very difficult to not do that in real life. My hair does that all the time. It's annoying. Yeah, I can relate to that. And it looks cool. It looks like an action character. Very nice. We've got this one over here. Again, this is quite a nice... Instead of having a top bun, we've got the rear bun, which kind of looks a little bit like a cabbage for some reason. I like that. That's cool. But these bangs coming down. Collar height. Very nice. Yeah, another great hairstyle. Not my favorite so far, personally, but I can see why it was entered into. Wow, we have some really good hair here. This is cool. This reminds me of pasta for some reason. Again, you need to eat before doing these videos, Meoni. This looks really nice. I like the way that the highlights are on this. There's more prevalent highlights on the back of the character than on the front with just the little bits of fringe and the bangs there. That looks really cool. I like messy hairstyles when it comes to character design. And then... immediately this screams Xeno, doesn't it? Like, this is Xenos in every single way. A lot of people idolize that character. Not personally one of my favorite characters, but it's clear to see. This is a nice long hairstyle, though. If this is obviously gender unlocked, this could look really good on a female character as well. I really like the fringe. I like the way this comes down. I think I like Xeno as like a character, but not necessarily like as a character, if that makes sense. His design was cool, like his hairstyle and stuff like that. I just didn't like his personality or the fact that he was in the story so much personally. That's really cool. I can imagine a lot of people being very happy about this one. Then we scroll down. Oh, this is nice. And this is Natural Curls by Mad Queen Momo. Ooh, with a hat. Oh, this is great. They've even demonstrated it with a hat. A lot of people don't do that, as we've seen, so that's nice. I like this. Short, curly hair. There's nothing to complain about there. There's a significant lack of this type of hairstyle in the game. And yeah, I can see a lot of people really loving this. I'm glad that they put this in. Like I said before, different cultural hairstyles, the more variety we have, the better the game is. This looks awesome. Then we have this as a winner, which is very interesting to me because this is a deliberate cover of the eyes. Now, the character that comes to mind is the white mage fella. I forget his name. The one that's in the 12's Wood. Oh boy. Not Rune Sand. Comment section, save me. Where the hair is obscuring the eyes. I like that. It's a very anime trope. It looks really good with the Mikote ears there. I can imagine Bun Bun's looking good with this as well. I also love the demonstrated black with that sort of neon purple as a reference there. This looks really good. That's a really cool idea. Not that you'd be able to see anything, but this reminds me of my teenage years, you know, listening to various bands and, you know, wearing black clothing. Very cool stuff. Then we got Gold and Locks by Ifan. Hopefully I've not butchered that. This is another great representation of hairstyles that are missing from the game. I like these big chunky hairstyle, hair. I don't know what you call them. You don't call them dreadlocks, do you? I'm not sure what they would be called. They're really nice though. I would love to walk around Eorzea and see all of these hairstyles in one area. It's going to look so cool for Dawn Trail, because presumably that's when a lot of this might be coming out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that it doesn't take much longer than Dawn Trail's patches. But yeah. Then we've got this from Miso Omiso, which is kind of covering one side of a face. I like this. It's not too short, or at least it doesn't give a demonstration of being too short. It's neck height, not shoulder height, so there's no clipping involved. Yeah, it's really nice, actually. Quite a sexy cut, actually. I like that fringe that's sort of curled almost. Very nice. Then we've got this from Hayuta. It reminds me a little bit of a Cloud Strife hairstyle, but we've got a bit of length to it, and it's not as spiky. This is more realistic. If Cloud was a real character in the real world, then this is a much more realistic hairstyle with less gel or product in the hair required. I like the way it sticks out in places as well. It's sort of bed hairy, all the rage at the moment. I like the way that they've shown off the two-tone with the highlights there. Really cool. I like that. Then we have another bun-inspired hairstyle, but much longer, I think, on the bangs here. That's really nice. They go way below the collarbone this time. Interesting. That's going to look really good with some dresses. And I like the way that the back has the extra room for like clothing with hoods, so you can still have something that's, fully clothed, not necessarily low-cut dresses and tops. You could have something fully covering the front, but also have the ones with the hood without worrying about the clipping. That's really nice, actually. Really nice. Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. So if this goes into the game, this one here, with this is going to be one of the most popular hairstyles. The detail on this, like the buttoning, I'm not sure what you would call that, sort of like filigree thing going up here. The way that the highlights are like a fade down there. This is a very, very cool hairstyle. We see this a lot in anime. And I like the top bun with the clasp thing, the hair, what would you call that? Hair clasp, hair fastener holder. And then we've got little braids as well, look, the way that it's tied up. That's really nice. That would look really cool. Very, very cool. Especially on like a samurai, And then we got this hairstyle, which reminds me immediately of the 50s and some hairstyles you might see in Fallout. The Fallout universe. Very, very popular sort of 50s sort of curls here. Yeah, we don't have that in the game. We have stuff that's slightly close to this, but nowhere close. I like this, actually, as well, especially since there's a exposed forehead there with the fringe in these curls. Very nice. And the back there from Nomu. Very cool stuff. We've got another short hairstyle here. I'm surprised this isn't already in the game, quite honestly. We got these sort of the mid parting with the two wiggly bits, two bits of fringe. Not my cup of tea, but it's interesting. I like the way that the highlights are kind of underneath the hair as well. Don't know how well that's gonna come across in the game. And then we've got this hairstyle, which is a slightly messy cut. This is very nice. I like having one side longer than the other. That asymmetrical, but still got some length to it. And we got a bit of a braid in the middle there from Romy. I love this. This is nice. If you're going for that asymmetrical look, that's kind of messy hair, but also still quite stylish. This is nice, really nice. Going down then, we've got more messy hair, as I call it. Looking really good. This is quite easy to pull off, I think. There's similar hairstyles in the game, at least of similar length as well. Very wispy. I like the fringe cutting across almost in front of the eyes in places. Very nice. And they've even shown you what they'd want and what they don't want. So what they don't want is this gap, Square Enix, and what they do want is how it, looks natural in there. That is something that I wish more entries had on it. And hopefully they stick to this. This is something that annoys me as well. As a Mikote player on my main character, this annoys me too. So I completely understand where this person's coming from. This is another great sort of Emmett Selk almost hairstyle. Nice short, wavy. I think a lot of people had the same kind of idea. It's fun to see that this has been added as well. Like I said before, variation of similar hairstyles is better than having sometimes more radically between them. So then you have choice. Choice is always good in an MMORPG. Scrolling down then, we've got this sort of collar height, just above collar height, mid-neck cut hairstyle. Reminds me of Tifa. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because of the character's face, the default template face. This reminds me of Tifa Lockhart. I am all for this, especially in this coloration. I do like the fact that the highlights, if they do put them in, would be underside. That's something we don't see a lot of, and it'd be nice to see if they could pull that off. Very cool. I mean, who doesn't love Tifa? Then we have the Elegant Twist by Dara. Now, this is really cool. It's a completely different hairstyle than we've seen in the game. This is exactly why these contests are so good, because instead of going for the familiar, they go for something that they've seen. Like, this is a princess sort of haircut, this is something you would see that they've cut the length off there. It would have been nice to see a version of this with much more length, much more extravagant hair, but there are limitations, I presume, to the game. This is great. I love the little, I don't know what you call this, the little wispy bit. Like the way that this has been cleaned and dried, and I like that. I don't know much about hair, but this is awesome. I would love to see this, especially with these on there as well. I love that detailing. I'd love to see how this highlighted as well. That'd be cool. Scrolling down then, here we go. We got some another great long hairstyle. This is great with the bangs and pigtails, obviously at the front of a character. We have pigtails in the game. I don't think we've got something as similar as this. I like that. That's good. This, though, this is something else. I love this. I can imagine that there are some VTubers who will be looking at this, like Sylvie VT, that will be like, oh my goodness, I want that. Shout out to Sylvie, obviously. This is a really, really, really cool hairstyle. I love the two-tone highlights. I don't think we've had that before in the game, and if we have, I've missed it. It's not too short. It's got some length to it. And then you've got these extravagant sort of bands coming off with what I can only describe as, those things that you see on curtains? Curtain tassels. I think this is fantastic. I love that. It's very punk. I like that. Very cool. Then as we scroll down, shaved tattoos. This is Resistance Rebellious Cut by Say or Sai. This is really cool. Base hair color, and then the highlight area. So it's showing specifically where the highlights would go on the top of the character's hair, and then this shaved area with the shaved tattoo. This is awesome. This side is plain. So you'd have that tattoo on one side and then shaved plain on that. That's really cool. And I think the resistance thing, it definitely feels like something you would have as a resistance member in like Bozjar or something like that, or Zadnor. That kind of area, especially with the Hrothgar. That looks so good on a Hrothgar. Oh my goodness. If this translates into the game like this, that'll be fantastic. I really like that. I didn't think I'd like short hairstyles as much as I am looking at this, but people are changing my mind. We got Curly Bob from T. This is nice. Oh, wow. So you've got the kind of like illusion of length without giving the length so that it doesn't clip wildly, as they've shown as a demonstration here. With presumably their character, which is adorable, by the way. Very cute character. Yeah, nice length to it. Some really nice highlight choice here with that kind of asymmetrical fringe section with little tiny bits, little wispies through the hair. I really like that. People are so talented. I wish I had even a modicum of their skill, honestly. Some really talented people entering this, and certainly in the winners. This is great. I like the two-tone highlights of the fringe there. Again, lots of shaved necks, lots of shaved back hair there. Yeah, I quite like that. It's not as long as perhaps I would like. I would like to see more length, but that's a personal preference. This is lovely though. This is absolutely gorgeous from Ume, I think. Ume has come up with this lovely long hairstyle with a beautiful fringe, long bangs, and then we've got all this lovely detailing. We've got little flowers in here. I'm not going to try and presume what flowers those are. They look kind of like daisies. And then we've got this beautiful, almost like pearls in these ribbons. Very, very nice. This is a beautiful hairstyle. This would look lovely if you were having if you had the Eternal Devotion veil on. That would really look good with that, like a wedding hair. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We've got this hairstyle, which they thought about the horns of Yor-Ra, specifically in this design. I like this looped design. We've seen this a couple of times with well, not necessarily with the beads, but that's really nice. But that loop, I like the way that this would loop over the eye. That is very unique. It'd be interesting to see how glasses and other masks would work with this, and you could get some really cool stuff, like with a sable mask that might look amazing with this hairstyle in red and black. Oh, that'd look great. And then we've got this hairstyle from Hinoe. I think I've probably butchered the name there. With those fasteners that I forget the name of. They kind of look like Pocky. Or stitching, like Pockies in the hair or something. I like that. It's not as long as I would personally, have a preference for. But it's another great short hairstyle. As we go down, ooh, we got more daisies, or at least, let's see, Ishgardian Elegance by Miche? Sorry for butchering names, by the way, once again. Beautiful fringe, long bangs, down to the collar height just below, flowers in the hair. This is very elegant, very beautiful. Lots of princessy, sort of royalty hairstyles. A lot of people want to look good, and it's nice to see. And it's reflected in the choice of what winners they have chosen, Really, really nice hairstyles. This, however, might be one of the most creative entries. Beauty in Bloom by Miss Moonriver. This gets my full seal of approval because it's something we have not seen in the game. It has, similar to kind of like, Lightning's hairstyle, how Lightning has that bit of hair that comes around the collarbone. Similar to that. So it's got this one-sided view. It would be cool if we had like a straight-on view for this. That's my only grievance with this, but I like the fact that they showed the most important section of how the hair wraps around the head and then around the face. So it's like a combed over and then brushed through, wrapped around. This is beautiful. And I like the rose specifically. I mean, that looks like a rose to me. How they've done, how the hair is tied up. I don't even know how you would do that in real life. I don't know, but that looks fantastic. I love the highlight details as well. Yeah, definitely one of the most creative I've seen. Beauty in Bloom there. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to see that in the game. Let's see. We've got this hairstyle, which again reminds me a little bit of Emmett Selk. I like the front on view here, the way that it's covering that eye. Yeah, it's very nice. Very nice short hairstyle. Then we have this, which is absolutely beautiful. Again, we've got the Pocky, as I call it, the hair fasteners, with the bun on the back there, the sort of side bun. Yeah, it's really nice. It flows. There's a lot of flowing hairstyles, a lot less straight hairstyles and more bits of hair going over it. I love this. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now we've got some really good hairstyles. So we've got this slightly longer. This is my kind of length for a male character. I would totally have this on my alt. I love the way that the fringe, it's just bed hair. It's nice, messy, typical Final Fantasy traditional hair. Love it. There's nothing to dislike about that. This I really, really like. This is very, I like their little chibi picture there. That's adorable of their little Miko. But I love the way that they've got the bell. Oh, it's got a bell and ribbon. Oh, I'm instantly wanting this. That will look so good on Miko players and everyone else, of course. I like the length of the bit of hair that comes down here. The little bit at the top. The little quiff top bit. Very anime. There's nothing I dislike about that. Very cool. It would have been nice to see how the highlights would work in this, though. Are they going to be intertwined highlights or just the tips? Yeah, that's the only thing missing. So hopefully they do that justice. Hopefully it looks good in white. Maybe with a touch of pink, that would be nice. And those are the entries. Oh boy. So as you know, this was a contest. So people who have entered this, not necessarily who have won, it says entries that did not win may also be selected for implementation. They've done this so many times in the past. I would imagine, being Square Enix, they were very hard pressed to pick only the amount that they picked. As you've seen, they were only originally supposed to have 30 and they ended up choosing 40. These entries are fantastic. Personal highlights for me, I love this first hairstyle we looked at. This hairstyle's amazing. This is great, reminds me of Tsukiyomi. I quite like the Xenos style one. This is awesome. I like the short curls, very nice. Yeah, there's so many great entries here. And if all of the other entries were like this, how on earth would you choose? That's why I think they're going to add a lot more in the future. This is lovely though, the idea of like a 50s hairstyle. I don't think that's been done before. Yeah, really nice. I think my personal favorite, if I was to draw it down to 2, would probably be this one from Ume. I like the flowers in the hair. And probably Beauty in Bloom. I think that's so unique. I love the flower on the back. Very good job to everybody. And this is awesome. This is adorable. So yeah, those people who have entered, you'll get Fat Cat earrings, which at the time of recording, I believe this is the only way to get these through these specific contests. None of the screenshot contests have rewarded this yet. This is very unique, and that's what that's going to look like in a game with that beautiful tartan yarn or ball or whatever it might be with the fat cat hanging on to dear life. That'll look fantastic in the game, and they're scheduled to deliver these around November 2023. So you're actually going to get these in the game very soon. Oh boy, I wish I was a winner. I would have loved to showcase this. This is awesome. What a unique reward. And if you did win, or if you entered it at all, you've done the game a great service by entering. Like I say, there's a good chance you might see your hairstyle randomly pop up in a patch in Dawntrail, and that's exactly why you do it. Oh, such good variants. Oh yeah, and this hairstyle as well. Looks fantastic with the two-tone highlights. Brilliant entries. Let me know below, what was your favorite hairstyle that was entered? Did you enter this contest and sadly didn't get chosen for the winning entries? Hopefully, you know, you're happy with the ones that did get through. I think there are some really great options for a variety of different characters and styles. And I can't wait to see what other contests in the future give. Anyway, much love. That was my deep look at the hairstyle design contest for 2023. You can find a link to this page in the description. And of course, like it said earlier, you can click on any of these hairstyles and it'll give you a big thumbnail of them. And you can look through these beautiful designs yourself. Yeah, these are really, really great. And people should be very proud of themselves. Awesome stuff. Now, where do we get these in the game? That's the question. Hopefully to give some stuff in the new variant modes in Dawntrail. I love those modes. Anyway, much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.